Welcome to Bromo TV. I'm Steve Yasko, the Executive Director of the Bromo Arts and Entertainment District. And we're here in the 520 apartments with Jeff Huntington. And he's doing something very special in the lot just on the side of the next building over, which are the 500 Park Avenue apartments, which will be open in just a few short weeks. So, what are you doing over there, Jeff?
Painting a mural on Park Avenue.
And it's actually a pretty extensive mural. It's very big, and it's on the side of what was a series of buildings that were part of what Baltimore had as a Chinatown. A lot of people will remember the China Doll restaurant. Some of the signage from that is still up. Is that how you got your inspiration, or how did this project come about?
Yes. Well, I got a call from a collaborator of mine, Jesse James, who's from Baltimore, and Brian Green got a hold of him, and he got a hold of me, and I guess they maybe reviewed some of my work and invited me to come look at the wall and propose a mural idea.
So,
well, in this particular case, when I first saw the wall, I asked them what the building was, and they mentioned that this block used to be Chinatown. And after doing a little bit of research and contacting somebody from the Maryland Historical Society, I learned that it was a thriving Chinatown until the 1968 riots, and a lot of people scattered after things got burned out. And then Julia Gibb, my wife, and I did some research, and that led us to an assisted living home in Timonium, where we met a yoga-sized Chinese woman named Kitty Chin, who came here around 69 with her husband from Canton, and spent the next couple decades trying to revitalize that whole block.
I guess I have two questions. How long does it take to do a mural?
Always longer than I think, because there's always some sort of problem that arises that I never anticipate. So I'm pretty much on target with this one. I guessed about 2 weeks, and we had a few rain days already, a wind day that we worked through, and even the wind can change the look of some of the painting. So it varies.
So how do you get started too? What's the first thing you do when you show up at the wall?
For this particular painting, in some cases I might draw a grid to determine how to get such a large-scale image with some accuracy. In this case, I created the background first, which are scales, a template that I made out of cardboard, and I used that as a stencil. So we covered it from left to right, bottom to top, covered the thing, and since the shapes are consistent, it creates a natural grid for me. There's also cinder blocks and bricks. I use those as a grid too. So I take a photograph of the building, superimpose some sketches on there, and I can see the brick and cinder block marks to help guide me with proportions and scale.
It must be as physically involved as it is artistically involved.
Very much so. And so I exercise my fingers a lot, because I try to use triggers, but little handles that you put on the spray cans. But for details, I just use my fingers, and my hands get fatigued, and I can feel my tendons blowing up. So I just try to take breaks more than I used to, and I have my sunglasses. I have a big farmer's hat that I wear to keep the sun off of me. This keeps some of the spray out of my eyes, but it's a trade-off with a raccoon kind of suntan.
So you've been around. I guess one of the things is people don't always remember the muralist, but you've actually have a very long body of work that is around, both not just in murals but in.
My background is in fine art, and I've been oil painting for 37 years, since I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
My father and older brother and my grandparents were artists, so I grew up around art, and I just wanted to emulate my older brothers, so I just thought that's what I was supposed to be doing, and I did it. And so I went to art school. I skipped over high school and kind of left home when I was 15 and traveled around the country and ended up getting a GED and getting into art school. And I got a bachelor's degree from the Corcoran College of Art and Design in '95, and then a master's degree from the Art Institute of Chicago in '97, and then moved to New York City from there.
Wow.
And for about the past 25 years, I've been showing in various galleries from San Francisco to Chicago, New York, and today I'm represented by 3 galleries, Porter Contemporary in New York City, Reyes and Davis in Washington, D.C., and Annapolis Collection Gallery in Annapolis, Maryland, where I now live and work. One of my first murals was at Art Basel in Miami in 2014. And so since then, I've painted murals in Brooklyn, New York, Chicago, Miami, DC, Crystal City, Virginia, about a dozen or so in Annapolis. My wife and I started a nonprofit called Future History Now, and what we do with this group is we do mural projects just like this, but I always have assistants working with me on walls, and for the Future History Now projects, we work with at-risk youth programs, and we try to find the program closest to that area.
We should know one of the reasons that this mural came to be is much of Bromo District is going through a big transformation right now. And as you can see here on Park Avenue with the Mount Vernon Marketplace and the 520 and the 500 apartments, this wall is directly across the street. So that was to beautify the district and also create a walkway between Park Avenue and Howard Street as well. You have a website?
Yes, sir.
Everyone does. What is it?
JeffHuntington.com.
And we'll have that on the screen as well.
So JeffHuntington.com and FutureHistoryNow.org. And like I was saying, we work with at-risk youth programs, and we're doing a bunch this summer. In the fall, we're going to France to do a project out there. And then in December, we have an invitation to go to Calcutta, India, and work with kids on a wall out there in collaboration with an organization called Rivers of the World Foundation.
And so thank you very much for doing what you do, and thank you very much for helping to beautify the Bromo.
Thank you. It's an honor to be invited in here to talk to you.